What's up, folks? Welcome to the Sin Bin. This is our vlog episode number 4. Today I want to talk about two things, both NHL things. I want to talk about Ilya Kovalchuk and what happened with his contract, and I want to talk about how that is going to affect the next collective bargaining agreement with the NHL. So first off, Ilya Kovalchuk had a crazy summer. He wanted to get he was the biggest free agent name this year, and wanted a bunch of money. He kept saying, "I want $10 million a year for like 12 years. Pay me more." No. Please? No. Yes. Why should we? I want my money. Get out of my office. Finally, he came out with this really ridiculous 17-year, $102 million contract, which the NHL voided, and the NHL Players Association then filed a grievance on his behalf, and an arbitrator ruled on Monday that the NHL was correct in voiding this contract, saying that it was illegal in the collective bargaining agreement, that it circumvented or tried to get around the salary cap. And if you look at the contract, really there's honestly no other way that you can justify that other than to say that they absolutely were just trying to soften their cap hit. Because there are a couple years in there where he's making like $11.5 million or slightly less, maybe down to about $9 million. And his cap hit is only $6 million. I mean, how does that work? How does that work? Plus, the contract was supposed to be keep him a devil until he was 44. Now, I don't know about you, but I can count the amount of players that play until they're 44 on one hand. The big effect now is Kovy is once again a free agent.
Born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows.
Now, what does this mean as far as the collective bargaining agreement goes? First off, I am ecstatic about this ruling. Absolutely freaking ecstatic. And you can go to the Blogspot page, which is right down there, to check out my various posts on this, because I've made about 5 posts about this because it's just been going on forever. But again, I'm thrilled about this ruling because this gives the NHL leverage going into the collective bargaining agreement. They can come in and they can say, look, this was already illegal, but I understand it wasn't clear, so let's make it clearer. Which could also lead into something that I think might be contentious, but since we're seeing these 12-year, 13-year, or in Kovy's case, 17-year contracts that are just plain unrealistic, we might see an implementation of something from the NBA, which is very, very good, which is the concept of the max contract. Now, if you're not familiar with those, all you have to do is look up the Miami Heat right now, because they got a whole bunch of those out right now. Most notably to Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. Those guys all have max contracts. Now, a max contract means you can only sign for so many years. You can't go past, I believe in the NBA, is you can't go past 6 years. Now, I know the players like to make us think about wanting to have long-term commitments, want to have a lot of security, and all of that, and I'm fine with that. So I think a fair number for the NHL could be an 8-year cap for the maximum contract. 8 years, and then they still got to deal with the salary cap and all of that. And possibly to make it a little more acceptable to the players, I could see offering a little bit of flexibility with the structuring of the contract. You can put a few more up front and a few less down the back there, so you can kind of manipulate the cap a little bit, but not in the sense that it was done with Kovalchuk. We still don't really know how things are going to stand as far as the collective bargaining agreement comes, especially because the NHL Players Association has been talking with Donald Fehr. Yeah, Fehr, that's his last name, about having him run the Players Union. Now, if you're not familiar with this guy, all you have to do is look up Major League Baseball in the mid-90s, and he is the head of the Players Association of the baseball players in that time. He's very, very well known because the players gave him all the power in the world. They said, you do what you think is right. and he caused 2 work stoppages for Major League Baseball. One that wasn't a really bad one, and another one that canceled half a season and an entire postseason and World Series. Plus, he's one of the guys that have the most responsibility for the absolute terrible excuse of a job that Major League Baseball did for years when it came to performance-enhancing drug testing. Associating with Donald Fehr is basically, to me, them saying, we're ready for a work stoppage if you are. Now, that would be so sad because the NHL has made such great strides these last couple years in gaining popularity. What a Stanley Cup Finals this year. What an Olympic tournament this year. What a season. All of these things went so well for the NHL, and now they're going to jeopardize all of their moving forward because they want 18-year contracts. They really need to check on their priorities. Really do. They need to slow down, look at themselves, and go, my God, this could kill the league. And it really, really could. So my hope is that they wise up a little bit on this. My last note on this is going to go straight towards Ilya Kovalchuk. I know this guy is still looking to try to be the best paid player in the league. But you know what? The person who's the best paid player in the league is usually the person who is the best player in the league. And Kovalchuk is not the best player in the league. Not by a long shot. There are players who are younger than him that are better than him. I can name a couple right off the top. Sidney Crosby is better than Ilya Kovalchuk, and he's younger, has more to offer, and already has a Stanley Cup and a gold medal. You could make an argument that Evgeny Malkin is as good or better. And then there's, of course, Alex Ovechkin, who currently, I believe, is the highest paid player in the league, again, now that contract is void. And rightfully so. He should be the highest paid player in the league because he is the best player in the league. Now, until you're better than him, Kovy, the only way I'm going to see you getting all of that money is if you go back to Russia and play in the KHL. And you know what? They're willing to kiss your butt until the borscht comes home. Would you like some ice for that burn? So if that's what you want, then that's where you need to go. And that is the last word on this subject from the Sin Bin. Check us out at welcome to the Sin Bin at blogspot.com and send me an email at thesinbin1@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to hear. Leave comments, subscribe. I want to know what you guys want to hear, so please, I haven't really gotten many suggestions quite yet, and that's fine. I know it's still young on the vlog process, but still. I want to know what you guys want to see in a sports blog. Have a good rest of your week, and check us out again. Later.